Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Jerred Moon. The Garage Gym Athlete Podcast is a result of my desire to build better humans, unequivocal coaches, and autonomous athletes. I've spent the last several years obsessing over program design, nutrition, and every other way you can optimize human performance. This podcast distills the latest scientific research with what I've learned and blends it with the not-so-scientific field of mental toughness. We are here to build you into a dangerously effective athlete. If you enjoy this podcast, you can find out more about our training at garagegymathlete.com. And if you want to pursue more into the field of coaching and programming, head to endof3fitness.com. Thanks for listening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting started. Looks like people are filtering in. Awesome. Let me pull up the chat here. Make sure everything's working on my end. If you could let me know where you're from, put that in the chat and I can see it and I will know where you're from. Bahrain. We have more than one Joe from Bahrain. That's crazy. Evan Jackson from Maine. Colin from, I missed it. Going too fast here. Too many people. Chris from Kansas. Chris from Minnesota. Ryan from Chicago. Ryan from Virginia Beach. Joseph from California. Awesome. Everything's working on my end. I appreciate everyone filtering in. Right now, we have not hit our cap yet, so I'm not going to throw it to Facebook yet unless I have to. And so we're recording this. We're also going to publish it as a podcast. So if you thought that was a weird intro for anyone listening to this as it's published as a podcast, I do apologize. We are doing a live webinar for all of the Garage Gym athletes to cover a lot of different stuff today. And we're going to do it. We're going to get started. Thanks everyone for attending and for being here. We will get into it. The main thing that we're going to cover today are just the general updates that I go over every single time, just some reminders about how to access different things and things that are available to you in Garage Gym Athlete programming. If anybody's here and you're not a Garage Gym Athlete, not following our training, you can fix that problem at garagegymathlete.com and you can sign up for a free trial. Next, we're going to be going over world domination. And what I mean by world domination is we just have a lot of ideas, initiatives, and things that we would like to implement rolling into this next cycle. End of 3 Fitness wide, Garage Gym wide, and we want you guys to be a part of it. And so that's where we're going to spend a lot of the brief. Normally, I'll talk about a new method or programming methodology or something like that, but we're going to skip that this time just for time's sake. So we will do the updates. We'll go over the world domination, all the initiatives, and then the track briefs. So we'll talk about each and every single track. Unfortunately, Marco and VD could not be here today, so they will not brief their tracks. I will be briefing it. Joe is here, so he will brief the strength track. Ashley's here. She will brief the women's health track. And then I will brief the remainder. And that's just a reminder that Joe and Ashley are here, and they can help you with any questions. I think it is in the preferred method is the Q&A section, not just the chat. If you're going to ask a question, anything that you want me to answer, put it in that Q&A section, and you'll either get an immediate answer from Joe or Ashley, or I will go back and answer your question after I see it. Maybe you have a more specific question about programming or some of the world domination stuff that I'm talking about, and you want to know more, you have specific questions, just go ahead and ask. You can ask any questions you want there. So let's get into it. Here's the team. The reminder I like to give you guys every time. Joe Courtney runs a lot of the operations. He's doing the strength track. Ashley Hicks, operations and women's health track. Then we have Kyle Schrum, who is a big part of coaching and even a bigger part as we talk about some of the new initiatives that we're doing here. VD is in charge of the shred track, and Marco is in charge of all things pain here at Garage Gym Athlete. If you're familiar with the endure track, yeah, Marco, and he helps make Meet Yourself Saturdays worse. And then me, I am the briefer for the webinars. That's actually all I do. I'm kidding. I run the hard to kill track. That's the primary thing that I'll be programming and briefing today. And let's get into some more podcast stuff. So, like I said, this webinar, we don't always publish it as a podcast, but it's be published as a podcast right now. So if you're listening to it on the podcast after the fact, please give us a review. We would really, really appreciate it. If you didn't know we had a podcast somehow, please go subscribe. It's called the Garage Mathlete Podcast. Very easy to find. Subscribe, like, review, all those good things. We're also publishing a good amount of stuff on YouTube now. You can find the channel Into 3 Fitness on YouTube. If you guys, we publish a lot of the same content, but also exclusive content to YouTube since it is in video format. It makes the most sense there. So we are getting more and more involved with our YouTube channel. If you guys want to go subscribe to that as well. All right, we are rolling into Fit Week. It's hard for me to even know what week it is right now because I'm trying to refer to the current week, the week this is published, and on top of all the other things that we're juggling. But this should be published. This will actually be published as the new cycle starts. So Fit Week will be already done. So Fit Week we're rolling into next week. And if you are unfamiliar with Fit Week, or maybe you're an athlete and this is your first time at doing Fit Week, we just do a lot of different testing and we have different standards. It's all laid out in the app, very easy for you to follow. And we have gamified Fit Week over the last couple cycles where you kind of just input your points and it'll spit out, whether you're what we would call a competitor, established, or recruit athlete within our system following our standards. And so you get to figure that out as you go through Fit Week. And we do have additional or optional programming in Fit Week. If you don't feel like testing, or maybe you only feel like testing a few things, that's perfectly fine. You can still follow our optional programming and get some good training in and avoid any sort of testing if you do not want to. All right. Now, the big thing about Fit Week that I like to highlight is if you hit a PR, and this can be any PR. So the 2K row, it can be a back squat, it can be dips, it can be plate jumps, whatever it is. If you hit a PR, we have a documented benchmark baseline in our system, and you hit that PR, then you submit the video in our Facebook group. We will send you a PR shirt. So we will send you the black PR shirt if you hit one singular PR, 100% free, cost you nothing to get the shirt. And if you hit 5 PR shirts or 5 PRs, you get 5 PR shirts, right? That should be the goal. But no, you get one red PR shirt if you hit 5 PRs in a single cycle. Now, in previous webinars, I've covered all of the other things that we do to kind of reward. Like, we love the PR, we love the personal record, but we also are more about having your long-term health and athletic success in mind. So after you hit the PRs, those initial PRs, we don't think that should be your focus anymore. So we have a lot of other rewards in our system from the Killing Comfort patch, and we're rewarding consistency as we move along in this process. So what we need you to do is be consistent. That's how you get the Killing Comfort patch. If you can maintain that 80% consistency, you get the Killing Comfort patch. And I'm not going over the entire reward system again here. We've gone over it 2 webinars now. But if you guys do have any questions about the full reward system, our old webinars are published on our YouTube channel. You can watch them there. If you have any questions about Submit, please ask. Please ask our team, and they will get back to you on those specific things. But we normally reach out to you if you've hit those milestones, or we announce it in the Facebook group or in 5 Line Friday email, something like that. So those are coming as well. And a reminder that documents and links section in the app, if you open the app and you click on more in the bottom right-hand corner, and then you go to documents and link, there's just a lot of stuff there. And there will be even more stuff. You'll see as I announce things, we're just going to be throwing stuff in the documents and links section. But if you hit a PR, like I was talking about, you can find the link there to submit your PR shirt. The EO3 Elements is there, which is a very good thing for you to just be practicing on a daily basis, making sure you're healthy, optimal, recovered, and all those good things. If you need to change tracks, you can do that in the document and link section. We do have we're going to go over most of the tracks. So, we have the shred track and the endure track, hard to kill track, all of those things. If you want to switch tracks, you can at any time. You just go to the track change. And we typically get a bulk of our track changes right around the cycle change, which is now. And if you have a goal and you want to follow like an accountability system, you can enter your goal and follow that there as well. We have sleep habits, and we're going to have a lot more. Also, even a substitution and conversion chart, free no gear workouts like that you can download and get access to and keep forever, really, if you want to, if you need a month of no gear. So go check all those things out in the documents and links section. All right, so I got all of those things out of the way. Now we're going to go over world domination. And what I really mean for world domination, as I said at the beginning of the webinar, is just the different initiatives and new things that we're doing. It's we could be stagnant and just do what we do and never have new ideas or change things or whatever, but that would make it super boring for us and probably boring for you guys. Yeah, we want to provide a place for you to get amazing programming and an awesome community, but we want to do more than that. We want to be doing new things to keep the community engaged and keep everyone motivated and just have new ways to spread this community even further. So I'll get into those starting now. The first one is Garage Gym Athlete coaching. So we've had a coaching tier for a while at Garage Gym Athlete, but things are changing. And so we actually got this from the Women's Health Track, which is still very much a thing. If you have any questions about the Women's Health Track, Ashley is here today. She can answer any of those. She runs the Women's Health Track. But we've seen a lot of success with the Women's Health Track, specifically when the women in the Women's Health Tracks stick to the programming, they stick to the methods that Ashley lays out. We've seen a lot of success. We've gotten a lot of great feedback, and that kind of, we just kind of want to do that, not necessarily just for males, but we wanted to have that option available to everyone in the community and not just, hey, women can do this, but that's it. And so we also now have Concurrent Training Elite. So this is a secondary, this is a kind of a coaching tier. It's going to help anyone who needs it. So if that's you just think like if you need that extra nutrition help, you need that extra bit of accountability, that extra push, you want to check in with a coach, you want to, check in with a small group, something like that. Just think about that. I'm the big difference between the Women's Health Track and the Concurrent Training Elite group is Women's Health Track actually is its own track. So, I mean, it has its own programming. Concurrent Training Elite will not have its own programming. So you can be on any track and be a part of Concurrent Training Elite. You can be male, female, doesn't matter. It's really just for that added support. So, like I said, it's accountability, nutrition, coaching. Kyle will be running this. And it starts with the next cycle. And I will be emailing these things out and posting things in the Facebook group if you're looking to join. You won't be able to join today, but we will in the very near future. Really starting next week, you'll be able to join Concurrent Training Elite. Some people on the webinar are already in it. So we've been running it kind of in beta for the last cycle to make sure that it's going to work. And you'll have weekly Zoom calls, exclusive Facebook group, check-ins with Kyle, all of those types of things. And Kyle is here. So if you do have any questions specifically about Concurrent Training Elite, Kyle can get you taken care of there. And so I'm going to go over who, what, when, where, why, and how for every single thing that I'm going, just to make sure I get all the big parts answered. But this is a big need in the Garage Gym Athlete community. Sometimes when people cancel their membership or what, I like to reach out to people and see what's going on. And they're like, hey, community's awesome, programming's great. I need that extra motivation, that accountability, someone to check in or whatever. And we get that a lot, and we just haven't done that much about it over the years. And so we want to do that. Like I said, we saw so much success with the Women's Health Track. We wanted to replicate that the best we can for all Garage Gym athletes. And that's what we've done with Concurrent Training Elite. And Kyle's been running it. Like I said, it's not like brand new and we're testing it out. We've been testing it out. Things have been going really well. And so now we're just going to open it up to the entire community. And so I'm really excited about it. And there will be an additional cost. So like the Women's Health Track, if you are a Garage Gym athlete, you are paying a monthly fee to subscribe to our programming. And then if you want to do the women's health track, you pay an additional one-time fee. And then that one-time fee is not a recurring fee. It's a one-time fee for the cycle. And I think that we're at $69 right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ashley, for the women's health track. And we are going to match. We're going to match women's health track and concurrent training elite at the same price. But I would like everyone to know what we're charging for coaching right now is a steal. And I know it's a steal because I know the fitness industry very well. And so those prices will be going up as we cycle to cycle. They will increase. Women's health track has already increased from what it previously was. And so these things will move up. So this is just something that you should know if you want to be a part of it. And you think, hey, this is a good idea. I need that accountability. I need that nutrition help. Jump in, try it out for a cycle. It's not recurring. What you do is it happens that one time charge and then you don't get charged again. You have to decide if you want to go back into concurrent training elite the next cycle. So, which is good because you don't have to cancel anything. You just pay the one-time fee and you'll be good to go. So that's that. If you guys have any questions, please let Kyle know. Like I said, he's here today as well. Now, this is an exciting one. The Murph burner track. There is a new track at Garage Gym Athlete. It is called the Murph burner track, but I need to talk about specifics, but I'm going to get some water first. It's pretty simple. We just do Murph every single day for 365 days a year, where we debated calling it the Chris Morgan track, but instead we decided to go with the Murph burner track. I'm kidding. It's not actually that. Let me get into what the Murph burner track is and why we're doing it. So anyone and everyone, this is open to current Garage Gym athletes, people who are not a part of the program. It's going to really be open to anyone in the world who may be interested. So it is a 30-day Garage Gym athlete track. So that's it. 30 days, Garage Gym athlete track. And it's going to be the end of April leading up to Memorial Day. So think of this as a Murph prep track. And the reason it's called a burner track is not because Murph burns. It's because it's going to happen once. We're going to try it out this year. It may happen every single year. But what it's going to do, it's going to happen one time, and then it's going to be done. So it gets burned. It's after that. There's not like a Murph track in perpetuity at Garage Gym Athlete. But if you want to prep for Murph, you want to see improvements in your run times, your improvements in your calisthenics, then you might want to join the Murph burner track. It is in Team Builder. You'll be able to do kind of like a track change. I'll talk about how to do that. But why this is the Murph burner track is not free, but it's also not for our benefit. This is Special Operations Warrior Foundation fundraiser is what we're doing. And we have so much, Chris, we just kind of like letting you guys know behind the scenes. We just had Chris Morgan, Trampus, Ryan Caswell, all those guys on. And Joe and I interviewed them for another Murph cast previous this week. And Chris mentioned something like, this community collectively has more Murph experience than any community in existence. And I no doubt in my mind that that's true. Between everyone who's doing the Murph project, doing Murph every single week, there's just a lot of people doing Murph and seeing a lot of great results. So for anyone else to put out tips or tricks on Murph, it seems like we would be doing a disservice if we're not doing it. So we have the experience there. And like I said, it's also, if you know anything about our merchandise store, we donate our profits of our merchandise stores to Special Operations Warrior Foundation. And that's what this is going to be as well. So it is a $7 fee, even if you are a current Garage Gym athlete. And the reason is because this is a fundraiser. We are giving this money to the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. So anybody who wants to be a part of the Murph burner track, hey, maybe you don't even want to do the training, but you do want to, donate the $7 to the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, you can do that as well. But I thought this would be a fun way to get a lot of people involved, get people prepped for Murph, because I know some people are scared of that workout, and it's going to happen at the end, typically on Memorial Day, end of May. So that's just something you guys should know, and something that's coming up if you want to be a part of it. $7. and it is a fundraiser for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. And there we go. That's what we're doing. I'm excited about the Murph burner track. I've already put together most of the programming for it. And let's just say it's simple, not easy. All right, now this one's pretty cool. Submit your garage gym to us and get free stuff. So here's what we're doing as to continue on in our world domination here. So the Garage Gym Athlete community, anyone is involved. It can be involved who is a part of our programming. And what is it we are doing? We want you to submit garage gym tours of your garage gym. That's what we are looking for. This will be start and ongoing with the next cycle. So when the next cycle kicks off, we'll be doing this, and you can do it at any time. We'll kind of ping people if they want to do it. We've had a lot of success, with fostering the community through having a lot of you who are on right now on the podcast. We interview you on the podcast, but like I said, we're trying to do more and more things on YouTube. But I always want to keep what we're doing here community focused to the best of my ability. I don't want it to just be videos of me showing my garage and tips and all this stuff. We really started thinking of what we wanted to publish on YouTube. So this is an idea we had. We'll see if it works out. But we really want to have you guys submit your garage gyms to us because, that's what people want to see. They want to see what your setup is. They want to see what you have and how you're operating and things like that. And so I thought it'd be really cool to give this a shot. So we'll have a specific page at garagegymathlete.com where you can submit your garage gym video. And it's going to be fairly simple, guys. You don't have to have someone hold the camera as you walk through and give a tour. It can be as simple as just holding up your camera in landscape mode and filming your garage and just kind of pointing things out. It could be, anywhere from 1 minute to 5 minutes or whatever, just going over your stuff. It would be really cool just to see your garage gym and how you have it set up. And I know for a fact, of all the garage gym athletes we have, I probably have one of the worst garage gyms, out there. Mine's very just gets the job done compared to a lot of the other garage gym athletes we have. I'm not saying I have a bad garage gym by any stretch. I have a lot of good equipment, but some people have really, really gone all out with their garage gym space, and I would love to see them. So yeah. Oh, there we go. So again, like I said, I want this to be community focused, sharing your garage gym, sharing your stuff with the community, giving people ideas, things that you've done. It would be really cool. And it's really simple. You record, you'll submit. Like I said, we'll have a specific page for you to submit on because video files can be big. So we're going to make sure that that's taken care of. We will publish it on our YouTube channel. And when we publish it, we will send you free stuff. It could be a Garage Gym Athlete shirt. We're kind of going to let you pick from the merchandise store because some of you might already have some of the things that we could give away. So it could be a shirt. It could be a Garage Gym Athlete banner. It could really be a lot of different things from our merchandise store and the options that we have, which we're going to be beefing up here as well in the next week. So if you have anything that you want and you want to get it for free, it's an easy way to do it. Record, submit, publish. We'll publish to our YouTube channel, and then we'll get going. So I'm really excited about this one because I, truthfully just want to see what your garage gyms are like for my own ideas and see how I can get going. All right, this is an announcement of just something else that is being launched. So we have two things left on the different initiatives. Some of you know about this if you're a little bit more behind the scenes. Some of you don't. Better Human Business is another venture for Into 3 Fitness that is launching. It's for current or prospective coaches. So if you are a coach or you're looking to be a coach and you want more information on how to operate your business, programming, all those things, Better Human Business will be launching soon. So it's courses and community to help you grow online fitness business. This is something I've been doing. If you know, we have a lot of EO3 coaches. And after you learn the programming and mindset stuff, people really get stuck on business, what you should do, how to scale a side hustle, all these different things. So that will be coming out here in the next quarter in April. Just because I'm very passionate. The things that I'm most passionate about in this world and that have changed my life the most are fitness and business. And so I want to help people in those two areas just as a career in general. So it launches 19 April 2021. Better Human Business. You can go there right now. We even have things for people to download if you go to betterhumanbusiness.com. And like I said, fitness and business are my two passions. I don't have much else that I do in this world. So that's it. That's what I want to focus on and help people with. And there will be a podcast. So you can listen, subscribe, follow all those good things. Probably putting out some YouTube information as well for these things. So if you're interested in the business side of any of this, make sure that you go to betterhumanbusiness.com. There's a way for you to enter your name and email address. You'll be able to download some stuff and even be a part of that, because it's not going to get commingled. Like we're not going to these are going to kind of be separated. Like 5 Line Friday, I push out a lot of information that's going to stay athlete centric and focused. Same with the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. It's going to stay focused on garage gyms, programming, science, those kind of things. So this is kind of be another venture under the umbrella. So if you want to check it out, you can. Which also leads to EO3 coaching. We have had a lot of coaches go through our coaching program over the last several years. This is also for current or prospective coaches. We shut down applications for coaching. It's been several months now that we've even taken anyone else on. So the next cohort to the Coach Accelerator program, because I've been getting emails about it, people have been asking. So I thought I'd announce it here in the webinar just in case we have anyone on who's interested. Applications open on 6 April 2021. So if you're interested in EO3 coaching, and I know some of you are, our applications will open on 6 April 2021. And it's online, Zoom group, Facebook, all these things. Like we do a lot of different stuff with EO3 coaching. EO3 coaching, if you are a coach and you've completed everything, we actually have webinars like this for coaches only. And we talk about programming, we talk about science, we talk about business and those types of things. So if you do want to learn mindset, programming, or business, then you'll definitely want to be a part of our EO3 coaching community. Again, I'll email things out. I'll put things on social media. Just pay attention, and we will have a way for you to be a part of this. But it is by application only. We don't just accept anyone. So that typically means you have to apply, get on a phone call with me, and I'll see if you're a good fit or bad fit. That's just a way that we kind of keep the coaching community a good one. And so if you are looking to do that, then you can, coming 6 April 2021. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. But now we can get into the track briefs. I think Endure, what did Marco want me to say? He just wanted me to say, suck it up, Buttercup. I think that's it. I think he wanted me to just say that and then gloss over his slide really fast. So I might actually do that and not even tell you what's going on at the Endure track. So anyway, let's get into the track brief for Shred. Like I said, VD and Marco couldn't be here to brief theirs. So I will be briefing them for the most part. Here is Shred. What's really cool about the tracks this cycle is a lot of us are using hypertrophy-based methods. And it's just a good time of the year to do it as we roll into spring and summertime. People might want to build some muscle and lose some fat. So Shred is a great track to be on if you are in that, getting ready for the summer body look. You might want to be on the Shred track. So that's something that you definitely want to check out. So Shred this cycle, the overview will mostly ditch the tempo work and instead modulate rest periods. This means on some sets, you'll not be fully recovered and asked to work with an elevated heart rate in pre-fatigued muscles, aka muscle endurance training. Like always, we'll leverage the power of supersets, high rep schemes with lower loads, and interval weight training for conditioning. There's not a significant focus on athletic performance. Body composition will always be the goal of the Shred track. The first wave will focus on alternating low rep, high rest days with high rep, low rest days. Expect conditioning to come in the form of body weight or IWT, which is that interval weight training, or a combo of both. Circuits with a 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 work to rest cycle. Subsequent waves will shorten both the rest periods and work to rest cycles as athletes become stronger and more fit over the course of the next 12 weeks. Come prepared to work and to become a better, stronger version of who you used to be. Your significant other will thank you for it. So I know you guys can read these overviews and what it looks like as well, but I am reading it because, like I said, we will be publishing this as a podcast too. So if you are catching it on the podcast, feed, you would need me to read it and not just say read it. Now, what does the shred track looks like? You'll be using the kettlebell and or dumbbell frequently to perform accessory and body geometry exercises. A pull-up bar and barbell are a must. Rings are highly preferred, as well as access to an erg or airdyne, although not required. You can always run if needed. For the more technical lifts and skill-based exercises, i.e. snatches and cleans and handstand push-ups, there will be substitutions either briefed or in the notes. So that is what shred track, the overview, and what it looks like if you are interested in that shred track. And remember where the track changes are at. So any questions to the shred track, let us know. Here is the endure track from Marco. So the goal is going to be endurance plus interval training. And here's the overview. In this cycle, the endure track will be aiming to build on the previous one by continuing to concentrate on training athletes to switch between long and short sessions while maintaining intensity and building their resiliency. Differently from previous cycles, we will be starting with a mix of both for the first 3 weeks. Then we'll concentrate on long intervals for the second 3-week wave and finish with short intervals during the weeks preceding fit week to establish a winning mindset and appropriate targets. The strength work for this cycle will be focused on 1-to-1 work to rest ratio sessions, aimed to build on the foundation established on the previous cycle and maintain a solid tone on the musculature needed to perform well in endurance events. So that is the overview on the endure track. Like I said, Marco really just wanted me to say, suck it up, buttercup. And if Marco's saying that, it means that you're probably rolling into a fairly difficult training bout here for the next 12 weeks, but you can handle it. I know you can. So what does it look like? This track will make use of different tools and energy systems, training from bodyweight movement and sample aerobic work to more complex work requiring a rucksack, backpack with fillers, sandbags, kettlebell or dumbbell, barbell and plates, a vest if available, bands, and long and short metabolic conditioning training sessions. All exercises will have substitutions for non-regular equipment. So that is what we will be doing on the endure track. All right, women's health track. Ashley should be here and she will brief it, and she can also answer your questions. So Ashley, if you are able to unmute, I will let you I'll let you take it away.
Okay, sounds good. So women's health track, I'll just start by saying, just because you're a female doesn't necessarily mean you need to be on women's health track. This is a little bit of a deeper dive if you are basically trying to clean up your lifestyle and target a few things. If you are potentially pregnant and you want some modified workouts as well as clean nutrition, or postpartum, or even if you are premenopausal, menopause, everything, basically women's health track is built for females in all areas of life, which is super cool. So the goal is balance. And when I say balance, I mean in your lifestyle, within your hormones, within the nutrition that we're going to do, as well as the workouts. Direction, not just for this 12 weeks, but direction in life. So we're hoping that you take away what we do in women's health track and use it for the rest of your life as well. And strength, everybody wants a little bit of muscle growth and lean body mass. So that's what we're targeting. The overview for women's health track is it's for women in all areas of life, like I already said, and it helps teach women to prioritize health and fitness in a way that is sustainable for the long term. We use targeted workouts that align with our nutrition goals in order to get the best results. We focus on whole food nutrition to nourish our bodies, fuel our muscles, and align our hormones. This track also focuses on mindfulness to promote positive thinking, self-respect, and good mental health. So what the track looks like, just like Jerred said, you are going to have workouts within Team Builder, and they are mostly hypertrophy based. We use the benefit of the weight training or strength training and conditioning to help aid with lean muscle mass and fat loss. And then you will have more one-on-one nutrition. We will provide some macro help, as well as we utilize carb cycling in order to help you reach your goal during this cycle. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. And like I mentioned, if you guys have any questions about the women's health track, Ashley will be here for the rest of the webinar and, going on after that. So if you do have any questions, she can help you out. Let's see here. We get into the strength track, which I'm also not going to brief so long as things are working in Bahrain.
They are, fortunately.
Great.
So, those regular listeners probably have heard me mention Sexy Saturdays. So now you can get ready for Sexy Spring on the strength track. So, well, Jerred mentioned that a lot of us are doing hypertrophy. Well, this is more specifically strength endurance. So we're always looking to get strength, but this one we're focusing more on endurance. So what that's going to look like in the first wave, we're going to be doing, we're actually not going to be back squatting much. We're going to be swapping that out for front squats and deadlifts, but all the lifts will be tempo. So we're going to do some tempo, and the accessory work will be either larger reps or larger sets to get some hypertrophy from there. And then we're also going to be working a little bit more aerobic endurance as well, and some mixed modal movements to throughout the aerobic endurance. Then we're going to move into some negatives and such on through the next wave, and getting back into back squats as well. And yeah, we're just going to be doing a little bit heavier or cluster sets as well for the strength on the second wave, so more volume there. And accessory work will still have a decent amount of volume and reps and sets. And that's when we'll start to slowly integrate some gain intervals, so the really short bursts, and what we're still going to keep with the aerobic endurance and mixed modal movements with all the strength as well. So it should be a lot of fun.
Sounds like fun. Alrighty.
I hope I sold it very well.
Yeah, you sold it.
And we're always doing weighted carries in strength because it's strength. You always have to carry heavy things around.
And I'll say for the strength track, because I'm about to brief hard to kill, if you want to get stronger this cycle, go to the strength track. I know that sounds obvious, but we are backing off on the dedicated strength on hard to kill. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But if you're like, strength is very important to me, Joe is factoring in enough of the other stuff, so to speak, to keep you conditioned, that I do think that the strength track is a great addition, or a great option if you've been a huge fan of the hard to kill track. But I'm going a little bit less strength emphasis this cycle with hard to kill. And so if you don't want to lose that, then I would switch from hard to kill to strength. Not that you'll get a ton weaker on hard to kill. It's just strength is not going to be our main focus. So let's talk about it. Hard to kill. Normally the goal is just hard to kill, and it's actually different this time. So we have done variations of this throughout the year. One of my favorite cycles of all time with hard to kill was called Air Strike, which is where we took an aerobic and strength goal overall. So this is Air Hype, which is aerobic and hypertrophy is muscle growth plus hard to kill. And so we are hard to kill. What that means for me and for a Garage Gym athlete is we do have 13 different areas that we focus on. In the last webinar, we actually presented them all to you. So we have 13 different areas that we like to help balance an athlete out. So you are powerful. You are seeing muscular endurance stuff. You're seeing the different strength methods. You're getting the different energy systems trained. So we're going to be doing both. But the goal of this cycle will be increased muscle growth and mid aerobic distance and conditioning. So I'm not trying to cut into what Shred is doing with more hypertrophy. I'm also not trying to cut into what Endure is doing with more endurance, because our endurance will always be about that mid distance, nothing excessively long. And if there is, it won't be on a weekly basis, just occasionally here and there. So each 4-week wave will transition from muscle building major, aerobic minor, meaning that you'll be more muscle building 1 week and a little bit less on the aerobic side. And then the next week, you'll be a little bit more on the aerobic side and less on the muscle building. And that'll switch week to week. And the regular balancing areas that make for the hard to kill track. And so what I did is I took everything that you would need to see. I basically wrote a program that I felt would move someone forward in building muscle, while also building endurance and following all the concurrent training principles to reduce the interference effect as much as possible because that's a real thing. And then after I wrote the bare bones of that, I added in everything else that we would need in to be able to, like I said, balance out those 13 different areas. So while this will be the most balanced track on our platform, there will be more emphasis this cycle than in previous. Typically, we're just worried about balancing only, not as much any sort of any singular goal, but this time we will have a little bit more of a goal rolling into this cycle. So you will see weekly changes in volume and intensity. You can expect high volume but low intensity barbell work. So think low percent of 1 rep max. It's not uncommon on the hard to kill track to see even in week 1, 80%, 85%, something like that. You're not going to see that even for the entire first wave. The first 4 weeks, I don't even think we get above 65%, just to give you a frame of reference. We're not getting super heavy on the hard to kill track. You will see it progress as the cycle goes on. I'm not saying we will never get above 65%, but we will stay lower. So I think this is a great for people who've been following hard to kill track for long periods of time. Maybe you just actually kind of need that break mentally from the heavy loads, the heavy weight, the high intensities, and you can focus a little bit more on putting in some great work that's going to build some muscle and just make you better overall, because there are a lot of benefits to hypertrophy work. So what does it look like? Like I said, weekly changes in volume and intensity, but the aerobic work will change each 4-week wave between monostructural and mixed modal. That's something I want people to know, because we typically do a lot of grunt work on the hard to kill track. You'll see a little bit of that, but you also see a lot of monostructural work, and monostructural just means like an individual thing. So on the treadmill, on the road running, or on the rower, on the bike, something like that, looking at very specific, a lot of zone work and interval work. And if you are scared, if you're scared of zone work, the hard to kill track is going to be hard for you, because we will have some very targeted zone 4 work in here, and it'll be painful. That's all I'm going to say. So you will still see all 13 areas strategically mixed into week to week to maintain balance. So additional energy system work, power-based work, different strength methods. And I'm just letting you know that, because when you see, you get into week 2 and you're seeing power endurance workouts, and we're doing hang cleans or something like that to make sure that we are focusing on those power things. Like, how is this making me more aerobic, or how is this making me more, hypertrophy based or muscle growth? And the answer is some of these things might not be, because we're still trying to balance you out to the best of our ability while taking an emphasis. So we're doing a lot every single 4-week wave. So you'll see each 4-week wave build onto the next one. So things will progress, not necessarily in a week-to-week fashion like you might be accustomed to seeing. It'll be more in a wave-to-wave. And waves for us, like I said, are 4 weeks long. And if you're curious about 3-block, 3-block is our track for if you're tight on time in the 30 minutes. It will mimic this 100%. And what we have done with that is taken a lot of aerobic and hypertrophy based, like for a singular week, because we had to cut so many blocks out. And then the next week is more of a balancing week. And then the week after that is more of an aerobic and hypertrophy based, and then back to a balancing. So if that makes sense, that's how we're doing the 3-block. So you'll see everything hard to kill week to week. But then if you're on 3-block, you'll see a lot of stuff one week, not so much the next week, a lot of stuff again the next week, so on and so forth. So that's how 3-block will work. So that is basically everything, guys. That's majority of the tracks. The other tracks follow pretty standard format, and I'm here to answer any questions about those if you do have them. The sample training is live now. You can go to garageandmathlete.com/2020. I'll also be sending it out in 5-Line Friday if you would like to see any of the things that we were just talking about. If everything I said or we briefed was like, that was confusing, and you just want to see what it looks like, I get it. You can just download the sample programming and you can go check it out. Yeah, BCT doesn't exist. No, yeah, it's 2020. We're not changing the link or the URL, because that breaks URLs, and any time you do that, it doesn't work anymore. So it'll say 2020 even when it's 2027, most likely, just so everyone's aware. So garageandmathlete.com/2020, and you can go check it out. And that's it. We'll send it up Friday. Are there any questions? Let me see if I can I need to see any. It doesn't look like I have any questions sitting in my Q&A. If you guys do have any questions, let me know. I'll stick around and answer them. Yeah, it probably is crashing the server. That's happened before. Yeah, okay, we got a question on the patch. Joe handled that. So yeah, we're right there. We're gonna have a way to submit if anyone's eligible for the ACE patch, which means you've done 5 consecutive cycles. We'll be sending that out as this cycle concludes. We didn't want to give you the way to do it now because we're just not officially over. But as this cycle concludes, we will let you know how to submit for that. And the same with like the Killing Comfort patch. We normally post things in the Facebook group and email it out. If you either got selected for it or if you need to submit for it, we'll let you know. Awesome, guys. Doesn't look like we got, here we go. How about PR patch? PR patch, you can submit on your own. So if you go to the document and link section, like I mentioned, and you go to the PR, you can submit your PR so long as you have the links in the Facebook group. We will check them out and then boom, you will be good to go. So yeah, you can submit for PR check. How do you change tracks? So also in the documents and links section inside the app, you can actually, I'm just tag Joe in Facebook. No, I'm kidding. If you open up your app and you go to more in the bottom right-hand corner, and then you go to documents and links, you can then go to track changes and you can switch at any time. And that's actually how the Murph burner track will work as well, just so everyone is aware, kind of. I mean, it'll be in documents and links. For Garage Gym tours, what info is included when published to YouTube? Like, so what do you need to say? It's just going to kind of be, you know, a walkthrough of the gym and, you know, what equipment you have. And that's about it. You know, just kind of walk, like, that's why they could just be a couple minutes. And you don't even have to be on video. As I mentioned, you can just kind of hold your phone and walk around. I do recommend plugging in like some headphones or something so the audio quality is pretty good. But if you have like an iPhone, I can't speak to Android. I know the microphone is pretty good. So you don't even have to do that most of the time. So if you just kind of walk around and point out your equipment, what you have, things you like, things you don't like, you don't have to do like a full review of every piece of equipment you have. But if you're like, hey, I have these Bowflex adjustable dumbbells, but I hate them, you know, like that would be helpful information to the community. Maybe they shouldn't buy it, or maybe you have them and you love them and you want to talk about that. So those are the kind of things that we would do in the tours, just walk around. And I might do a tour of my garage, even though I've already published some on the YouTube channel, but more in the format of the expectation I would have for any athlete doing it. So I just kind of hold my phone, walk through, show you guys things, and then you guys can kind of mimic that as you go along. But it's gonna be really awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing. I hope we get a lot of participation because I want to see a lot of the different garage gyms. Because one thing that's really cool is we do the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. We interview athletes, right? Joe and I are there and we get to see people most of the time, or not most of the time, a lot of time, the athlete is in their garage, but we don't publish that. We only publish audio. And sometimes they give us a quick tour, sometimes they don't. And that's kind of where this idea came from. Is like, man, I wish the community could see the inside of these garages because some of them are so amazing. So yeah, we'll be doing that. I think it'd be really awesome. All right. So Dylan asked for the new add-on discussed at the beginning, the thing similar to Women's Health Track. Can't remember the name. Is there a capacity limit? Right now, there is not a capacity to concurrent training. There's not a limit on concurrent training elite. If for some reason we got an overwhelming, unexpected response, maybe it could get shut down, but we would let you guys know before that happened. But just gauging off of other things that we've done in the past with Women's Health Track and with like the Fuels course and things like that, we think that we'll be able to hold almost any capacity that it reaches, and we have enough coaches to support if needed, if we have to add additional coaches or whatever. So there should not be a limit, but if there is, we will let you guys know. All right. Any other questions? I'll give another second or so. Yeah, see, Robert's in the chat here. He's been a part of Concurrent Training Elite. And he, if you have questions, maybe you can ask him if you want to know a little bit more specifics. Kyle will be giving more information. You guys will see. Like I said, I'm just kind of giving you a heads up here. We'll break down the full, like, here's what you get. Here's what we do. You guys will see all of that stuff soon. Yeah, the new building. They're pouring the foundation tomorrow. I'm so excited. I get the official HQ will be here, and I can stop working out of children's bedrooms. I'll let you guess on whether or not that's actually happening. All right, I'm talking about kids' bedrooms now, and there are no more questions. So that means the webinar is probably over. I do appreciate every single athlete for being here on the webinar live. It means a lot to me to get to interact with you guys. You guys get to interact with each other. Like I said, we always want to be community focused. That's a part of all the decisions we make, as you can see with a lot of the things that we're doing. We want to support the community in every way possible. If you're part of the community, thank you so much. You're awesome. If you're catching this webinar after it's published somewhere else and you are not a part of the community, just go to garagemathlete.com, join us. You see that we're doing a lot of awesome stuff, and we would love to have you a part of it. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. I will catch you in the Facebook group and everywhere else. Thanks. Thanks for listening to the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. If you want to learn more, go to garagegymathlete.com. You can learn about our training. Let us send you a copy of our book, The Garage Gym Athlete, or you can even get featured on the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. Thanks for listening.